Hello everyone, welcome to a new reading. So today I will continue with another pick a card. Now I'm saying continue because this is kind of related to the pick a card reading I did last month. That was how to activate your manifestation. And in that reading, towards like the end of each pile, I started thinking of a new pick a card reading that I was going to do, which was like what tools are at your disposal for this manifestation. And well, today's the day. This is the reading that will answer that question. So in this video, we have 4 piles that you can pick from. If everything goes well, I will have a picture that you can pick from, like a drawing that I made. And feel free to pick from those based on that image. And if not, right in front of me, I also have stones that you could pick from. We have pile 1 with Amythest, we have pile 2 with Ruby, we have pile 3 with Lapis Lazuli, and we have pile 4 with a stone called Aragonite. I hope I said that right. And in this reading, we're gonna have like smaller questions that we're going to answer, but the essence of it is basically what tools are at your disposal in order to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest. So in the previous reading, at some point we had like a pile or so that talked about like the material that they're using to manifest, and I thought that was very interesting. So a question along those lines is going to be answered as well in this reading, and also it will be divided in like subconsciously what tools are at your disposal, and then which ones are you aware of and you probably already use in order to create whatever it is that you want to manifest. And then the other thing I want to say is thank you so much for the 1,000 subscribers. It was a goal of mine to reach that last year, so I'm very happy that I was able to reach it this year, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without your help. So thank you so much to every single one of you that has subscribed, and to anyone that just randomly stumbles upon this video. I hope that you guys enjoy this reading as well, and feel free to subscribe if you want to. So thank you so much to everyone that has shown support in my video by leaving a comment, liking the videos, or just subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown me, and I hope that I'm able to provide with a lot more interesting, insightful, or thoughtful, was the word that just came up, videos for you guys. I hope that you find them entertaining, and I hope that you also find them as, I don't know, maybe you learned something new in one of my videos, something interesting, something like, oh, I've never heard of that before. And hopefully that can inspire you to do what you want to do, and hopefully it can also inspire you or motivate you to dream again. Those were the words that came up as well. So yeah, enough of all my chatter, enough of all that talking. I hope that you have picked your pile. If not, feel free to pause the video so you have more time to choose. And there is quite a chunk of cards that we're gonna have in each pile, so prepare. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Also in the description below I will have the timestamp so you can jump to the pile that you have picked, but so feel free to go down to the description below if you want to just jump to your pile, and if you have already picked, I will see you on your pile. And with all of that said, I will start with pile 1. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. For those of you that picked this image, or for those of you that picked the amethyst stone, welcome to your reading. So underneath your stone, we have the card that will represent you in this reading, which is the cheetah. So the card that represents you is this cheetah energy, meaning that you're a go-getter, you are really in your masculine energy, meaning that you are actively pursuing your goals, you're actively acting and doing things to, you're taking action to be able to reach your goals and manifest whatever it is that you're aiming for. Also with this cheetah, I do feel that you are more of a sprinter rather than like running a marathon, right? Meaning that when you get like the motivation, the inspiration, or just the energy to get anything done, you just go for it. You take advantage of all of that energy and just get working and get as much as possible done. And I think that just kind of shows that you work in spurts. Like you have, it's kind of like you have a spark. You take full advantage of that energy to get anything done, and then you need to kind of like calm down. Also, I think I was watching a video of like different of how animals hunt, and I think cheetahs sometimes work in partners or in groups. And I think there's this whole idea of like being able to very quickly get moving and get things done, but you can't keep that going for a very long time. So I do feel that many of you are the type, you may have like an Aries ascendant, so you may be the type that is like, you take action on what you want to do, but you also after a while you need to rest, like, and that's because you put like all of your energy into it. Now here we have a fire element, meaning that you are someone that's usually very energetic, usually very positive. You are someone that you have a big drive, big motivations. There's always like a spark that gets fueled when you're working on your manifestations. It's like you need to be motivated, you need to be inspired. It's very hard for you to just get things done to achieve a goal. Like, you need to feel excited about that goal. You need to be excited about the process of it. I think it's like, I'm thinking of how earth signs are the type that like to plan and organize the things that they have to do in order to achieve a goal, while you're a bit more spontaneous, a bit more genuine, a bit more of like in the present moment type of person. So I do feel that even if you plan, it's not like 10 years from now, a year from now. It's not like a step-by-step instructions on how you are going to achieve your goal. You kind of just wing it. You kind of just go for it, see where it takes you. And I do feel that you should keep in mind the type of energy that you have, because that could, like, if you're not aware that this is how you function and this is how you work, then you may feel like, why is it that sometimes I can get a bunch of things done, and why is it that sometimes I can't? Well, that's just kind of how like your energy works. You put so much attention and effort and energy in one go that you're not pacing yourself for like a consistent way of doing things. Let me just put it that way. And of course, this can work against you, and other times you should just be aware that you need to take things a bit slower and not like do everything at once, right? So I do feel that this is something that also, if you're aware that this is how you work, it will be easier to get things done, because then you'll know, okay, I have the energy right now, let me do as much as I can, but not to a point of burnout. And I think that could definitely be helpful. So now, let's look at all the cards that we have right here. I think I am going to start with the big ideas, and then we'll narrow it down from there. So these two cards, well, three, because you got two from the Sacred Earth Oracle. These three cards are going to give us like the big idea, like maybe concepts, ideas, or as I mentioned in a pile in the previous reading that I did, the one that is connected, that in the description below I will have the link to in case you want to go check that out, in case you haven't seen it yet. And in that reading, I think one of the piles had this whole idea of like I remember saying something like the material that you're working with is very untangible, very flexible, and that material, like I called it a material, but it's basically just energy that you're working with. It's so untangible, big and flexible that it's kind of hard to just shape it into something solid, into something tangible. And that's how, and like that concept or that idea that was brought up there kind of just brought in this question of like what material are you working with, which could be an idea, a concept, or just an energy. So let's start with the Earth Oracle. So we have space, we have specialization, And we have breathe or breath. Is it breathe? I think it will be breathe with the keyword life. I'm going to say it now in case it's relevant to someone. There's a song that I keep playing in my head, which is a cover that Bumyu did. And I think it's called Wonder. I don't know who sings it. Some editor or me will add like the title of that song here. And I don't know why that song is coming up over and over in your reading. But that song, the lyrics of that song could be relevant or important for you. So the big ideas or like the material that you're working with when you're manifesting, we have space, specialization, and breathe. Something tells me that your environment is very important when you manifest. So you need like a specific space, and this could be like a physical space that you work in, or you have to be in the right mentality to get things going. And that kind of does go with the cheetah, the whole idea of like everything has to be in perfect alignment for you to feel like you can work, so you can feel like you can do something. And so the images that you saw in this video, I took out cards to inspire me on what I will draw for each one of them. And for your pile, there was a cicada. And to me, that symbolizes that you just need to hear this call in. You just need to know, like, this is the right time. Like, it has to genuinely come from within you. The desire to create, the desire to manifest, the desire to go towards your goal. So this space makes me think that you just need to be in the right mentality. You need to be in the right space. So what I mean by the right space, I do feel that you're not busy with other stuff, with other responsibilities that could distract you. So there's no distractions in the space that you're in. And this space could be like, maybe let's say your desk where you physically work, or the room that you're in, or maybe the office that you're in when you are working on your goals. That is the space. So there's this sense of like, if I could describe the material that you work with, it will be air. You are fire, but the material that you work with will be air. So something that is constantly moving, something that there's... So if I'm correct, wind is created with changes of pressure. So I think it's when... Oh, look, I'm not an expert, but it's like when you have low pressure and high pressure, and in order to balance those two pressures, that change to maintain balance is what creates wind and air. Winds, whatever you want to call it. So this specialization makes me think that the material that you work with is one that only you understand, and it is only one that you know how to work with. It is the one that you're the most comfortable with when you manifest, but it's also the one that you have adapted to work with the way that you function as an individual. It's like the material that you work with is the one that fuels you to move forward. Because I'm also thinking of how cheetahs are very fast, and it makes me think of speed, and that also makes me think of wind. Also, wind is like, it moves very easily. It cannot be seen. So I do feel that the material that you are working with is one that you cannot hold on to. So I do feel that you may have a lot of activity in your head, in your mind, and in your brain, meaning that ideas are constantly going. And if anything, the hardest process or the hardest part of the material that you're working with is to make those ideas tangible, bringing those ideas down. I do feel like you may be someone that has a very active imagination or very active mind. And we do have the third chakra right there. So I do feel that you do get a lot of spiritual downloads constantly. It's so intuitive to you and so normal to you that I think sometimes you don't even realize that when you are motivated, it is spirit communicating to you and through you. You're creating with your imagination. you're creating with your thoughts and with your mind. And also these butterflies being around like this halo makes me think that you are someone that gets ideas, or your creativity comes out of nowhere, or that's what it feels like to you. If anything, how should I put it? This card right here, this breathe card, makes me think that you just need to kind of like take a deep breath to calm down, to be able to bring down to earth the ideas that you get. The energy that you're working with is one that it always itches. It's always like the tip of your fingertips is like itching to come out to the surface. It is one that you can't really contain. It is the type of energy, the material that you're working with is the energy that is constantly moving. So if you don't capture it, or if you don't write it down, or if you don't create it when it happens, you feel like it just escapes you. So I do feel that meditation could be important for you, so that you can learn to calm down all of the brain activity that you have. I do feel that writing down your ideas, or at least having like a little note about those ideas, will help you so you don't forget them. And it will also help you to relax all of the activity that you have in your mind. Also, all of these butterflies, I was going to talk about that, makes me think of change and transformation. So I do feel that all of the things that you create and all of the things that you want to manifest come from a material where you are constantly changing and adapting your person. So in this case, yourself. So your way of viewing things, your way of doing things. So yeah, like the process of manifestation, or the way that you view something or believe, your beliefs, like those things are constantly changing in order to help you manifest quicker or create faster. And I do feel like, for example, if you are an illustrator, you draw very quickly. If you're a writer, you type very quickly. And that's because you have so many ideas going on that you need to get them out there as fast as possible, either before you get bored, before you get tired, or before the idea escapes you. So you are working with a material that moves very quickly. And the other thing that I'm going to mention is exercise could be very good for you to calm your mind. I do feel that you have so many ideas and they always come in fragments. So it's very hard to pull an idea through into something tangible that you can create, because everything comes in fragments, it comes in pieces. And I think it's very hard for you to grasp all of these fragments because there's so many of them that sometimes it's kind of hard to see the full picture. So I do feel that if you were to exercise, it can help you filter out some of the busy noise or distractions within those ideas that are just floating through. And that could also explain why you need to not neglect your responsibilities, but at least take care of those responsibilities first, so you have like a time and space that is just for creating, so that those don't become, so your responsibilities are not distractions to your creation. So in conclusion, the material that you're working with is air. That's the best way I can describe that. But now let's look at the tools that are at your disposal, but you may not be aware of them. So we have number 24 with paradisical, you belong to paradise. We have the devil, and we have the sun. So you have two major arcanas. That's crazy. So here we have Capricorn energy with the devil, and we have Leo energy with the sun. You have two major arcanas, meaning that this is a big deal. So there's some tools, so either ways of thinking, opportunities, maybe people or ideas. There's like the things that can help you with your manifestations that you are not aware of can only be unlocked or noticed by you when you are in a peaceful mind. So you're not overthinking, you're not busy with responsibilities, there's no distractions. You're just genuinely enjoying your time and having fun. And one of the ways that you know that you're manifesting is because you're enjoying the process. There is this idea of like not feeling guilty with the material desires that you may have with the devil. Also, there's a sense of like when you are enjoying what you're doing, when you're enjoying the process, you're able to just think things through and take action. So this card right here tells me that the way that you unlock these tools that you're not aware of that help you with your manifestations is, as I mentioned, when you do something that you enjoy and when you're having fun in the process of creating or moving towards your manifestations. So when you have a goal in mind and you are excited about the idea of achieving this goal and you are very happy and content in doing the things necessary to reach that goal, you will be able to notice the devil in the sun. It will be easier to notice these tools that are available for you. And what tools are these? Well, with the devil, there's a sense of like knowing who to work with. Like it's easier to think like the tools that are necessary. It's easier to think of the plan. It's easier to organize your thoughts and your ideas. Because the devil does talk about, well, I'm thinking of like the Capricorn aspect of the devil, but the devil itself talks about being under the illusion of something. So I do feel that you are very good at catching yourself and figuring out what tools you have at your disposal. So focusing on the present moment and knowing what you can work with, and also knowing what your limiting beliefs are. I do feel that when you're in a good place and you have like a clear mind or you are pretty optimistic about the process of manifestation, you are able to catch yourself when you are your own obstacle. So you're able to kind of like break free from anybody that gets in the way or any idea that gets in the way. Also with the devil, there's this idea of like one of the tools that you have at your subconscious that it may be a bit that you may have to put a bit more effort to notice is that you have a very good bullshit radar. So you know when someone means business and you know when someone's just fooling around. You know when you're holding yourself back because of other people's expectations, or when you're holding yourself back because you want to follow the process that somebody else has followed, but maybe it's not in alignment with how you function and how you work when you manifest. And that kind of goes with this Sun card, making me think that another tool that it may not come as easily to you when you're manifesting, you know what I'm getting, is actually that it is so natural to you that you don't even realize that this is something that you can use for your manifestation. Think of younger you and what that person desired. Think of your childhood and think of how you got things done when you were not afraid and when you did not put yourself under any sort of responsibility and limits that could hold you back. Think, because I'm getting the image of like a young person, like a young child drawing. And this child is not afraid of, he's not even thinking of the results, he's not thinking of what other people will think of their work. They're just doing, they're just creating. So with the Sun card, because I'm thinking of like inner child, think of what you've always wanted to do, and also think of that feeling that you had when you were younger and you were creating something. That could give you a hint as to what this space looks like, the one that I mentioned earlier, that will help you create. and will help you manifest. So it's kind of like the key to figuring out the right conditions for you to have an easier time working or have an easier time manifesting could be in your memories. Like, how should I put it? The process is the key to your manifestation. It's like, how do you feel when you are in the works of something? And I do feel that it's so natural to you, and it's a very ephemeral feeling. Like, it just kind of happens. It's just a spark. It's like a firework. It shines very brightly. It comes in with a loud bang, but it just disappears. So I do feel that it's so natural to you, but since it's kind of like, it doesn't last, that feeling doesn't last too long, I feel that that's why it's on your subconscious, that you're not fully aware that this is a way that you can manifest. Which makes sense. Since it's so natural to you, you don't realize that it is a tool. So now let's look at the tools that you are aware of. Now this could be character traits, this could be things or people or opportunities or situations that are available for you right now, and they're just being highlighted as tools that you can use to manifest. And the other thing that I was also going to say is that these are things that you are aware of, or that even if you don't have them, you can see as a possible thing that you can obtain and like get your hands on. So for example, if it's like a state of mind that is accessible to you and you just don't realize that that's a tool you can use, it will be highlighted in these cards. So I will start with the oracle. So we have geranium. I hope I said that right. With healing. Here we have an Aries element, and this is an air sign, which, I mean, that's a material that you're working with. I am not surprised. We have watermelon with fertility. This is a water sign, and we have Leo energy. So there's a lot of fire and air. So when I started this reading and I mentioned that you were like using your masculine energy, it shows because of all the fire and air, which are masculine energies, element-wise. The first thing that I'm going to mention with the healing, there's something about trust, self-esteem, worth. Those were the words that just kind of came up. And this makes me think that the effort that you put in taking care of yourself, self-love, self-care, like the things that you do, like maybe even your routine, like the little things that you do to take care of yourself and keep yourself healthy, maybe exercise, skincare routines, meditation, sleeping well, organizing your ideas, your thoughts, whatever it is that you do to bring yourself to like center yourself or find happiness for yourself, that is a tool to manifestation. And keep in mind that this is a tool to your manifestation because it keeps your mind clear and it makes it easier to get away from distractions and the noise that gets mixed up with the fragments of ideas and thoughts that just come to your mind. And also, by doing this, it helps with activating this sun card that you have right here. And also, by doing this, which I mentioned about, having clarity, that makes it easier to also get rid of this devil energy, which does talk about someone that feels trapped because they're under the illusion of something. Now, with a watermelon, we have fertility. So another tool that you have at your disposal is that you are very abundant. Your ability to create is very impressive. And I don't know if you know the potential that you have. Like, I do feel that sometimes speaking up about something, speaking something into existence is enough to manifest. It's like your excitement at the idea or the thought of something can move mountains. And in this case, I feel that if you talk to other people about your ideas and your thoughts, it can motivate them so much that maybe they can become part of your projects if you need them. And if not, they can just help you by giving you ideas. This fertility card tells me that your emotions do play a very big role when you're creating. When you're happy, it's easier to create. It keeps your mind at peace, and it keeps you lighthearted. So you don't have baggage holding you back. You don't have this pressure that makes each step challenging or difficult. So yeah, your self-care is a tool, and your emotions is a tool. We have cattail with build. We have strawberry with enjoy. So another card. So the strawberry card is another card that is kind of like emphasizing or highlighting the whole idea of like you need to enjoy the process. If you don't enjoy it, it becomes very challenging and hard for you to create. It makes it very hard for you to manifest. So one of your tools is happiness and enjoyment. You're like, it's kind of weird because I say it's weird because if you're not aware of this, it is challenging to, I guess, okay, I think it's weird because of the way that society thinks that work and fun cannot really be put together. But one of the tools that you have when manifesting is like when you're enjoying the process, when you're having fun, you somehow change into this mentality where you can finally settle down and plan. You can finally settle down and organize yourself. You can finally like sit down in your space of creation and figure out in like a cold-hearted way or a very practical, logical way, how can you achieve your goals and how to manifest things into your life. It's like all of a sudden when you're very happy, when you're very excited, you can like sit down and start writing down like a plan or a to-do list. And it doesn't feel like a responsibility. It doesn't feel like something daunting. It just kind of is what it is. It's like you start writing down in a way to organize your ideas, and you're able to build a stable foundation. And you're only able to do that because you're enjoying the process. So the tedious stuff that has to be done in order to achieve your goals or to just manifest what you want in your life doesn't become a burden. It doesn't become an obstacle. It doesn't become tedious anymore. It just becomes part of the process. It's just a stepping stone towards your goals. So these two cards just tell me that when you're having fun and when you're enjoying the process, you're able to move faster towards your manifestations. And it's also a lot more organized as well. Now, pile 1. I would like to introduce you to the Spirit Song Tarot, which is a new deck that I got specifically for this spring reading, or, well, the reading that you're watching right now. And these 3 cards are going to give us a bit more details about the tools that you have at your disposal to your manifestations that you are aware of. So we have the Wheel reverse, which this is an octopus, in case you were wondering. We have the Two of Pentacles reverse. I want to say that it's a chameleon, but it could just be a lizard. And we have the Four of Crystals. Did I say the Two of Pentacles? That could be relevant to you, even though this is the Two of Feathers, so it's the Two of Swords. Okay, let me organize my ideas. With this octopus, we have the Wheel reverse. So there's this sense of that you can't force the process. So the space that you need to create is one that comes very spontaneously to you. And you can only create the right conditions for it, but you can't really force this feeling or this moment that allows you to create. So what I'm getting at is that one of the tools that you have at your disposal is creating the right environment to work in, or the right environment to have the right mentality for your manifestations. Even though you don't have control over the timing of your manifestations, you don't really have control on when your abundance comes in, but you definitely have the control of your body and your person. So what I'm getting at is like minimizing distractions will make it easier for you to focus. Understanding the things that stress you and understanding the things that excite you and make you happy or like motivate you, that is something that is under your control that you can work in order to make your manifestations easier to come through. And with the wheel, we have Jupiter energy. One thing that you have, one tool that is at your disposal but maybe you're not fully aware of or you don't have full control over, is that you're very abundant, you're very lucky. A lot of opportunities come through, but of course you can't take all of them at once. So do keep in mind that you have to look at the ones that feel the most convenient to you. But yeah, the wheel is Jupiter energy. So I do feel that this kind of just shows that you have a lot of abundance in all areas of your life. Just that these things come so naturally to you that I think you don't even realize that it's a tool you can use for your manifestation. And also, the wheel makes me think that you can do a bunch of things at once, like have a bunch of projects going on at once. But do keep in mind that just because you can doesn't mean that it's very useful or very helpful. And what I mean by that is that those things, if you're trying to manifest a lot of things at once, you can be those things can start distracting you from each other. And the other thing that I'm also getting is that could also make it that you are spreading yourself thin, doing a bunch of things at once. So be mindful of that and learn to prioritize. And I'm going to bring up that when I saw the Two of Feathers, I actually thought it was the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles to me talks about time management. And when it's reversed, it kind of just talks about having a balance of responsibilities and enjoyment. So I do feel that with you, Pile 1, one of the tools that you have at your disposal when manifesting is that yes, you are like a jack of all trades. You're very good at many things. You can do a lot of things at once because I think you're just full of energy. So if anything, you just need to learn to like zero in the things that you want to work on and learn to prioritize some things over others. So like that you are not too distracted and you're able to focus a bit more. But now let's talk about the Two of Feathers reverse. So the Two of Feathers is the Two of Swords. And there's this sense about making choices, making decisions. I do feel that you have a lot of options available for you. But I do think that you're so distracted or you're thinking of so many things at once that it can be a bit challenging to realize what your options are. I do feel that you are aware that you are able to create nothing into something. That you're very good at just making the impossible happen. And since you're aware of this and you are a jack of all trades, I do feel that it becomes very challenging for you to figure out what your options are. It's kind of like when you have the freedom of choice and the freedom of independence. When you have those things, it becomes very challenging to figure out what you want in your life and what your goals are going to be. It's like when when you've grown up being told what to do and following rules, conventions, and expectations, the moment that you're free from those things, it becomes challenging to figure out, to separate and discern what it is that you truly want and what was it that you were conditioned to believe in. And by that is like separating yourself from society. It's kind of like if the Lovers was here, that's what I will be talking about. When you're finally breaking free from your community and you're able to think for yourself. So this Two of Feathers reverse makes me think that you find it kind of challenging to figure out what your options are because you're still in the process of independence, or you're still in the process of separating yourself from society. And I think others of you have already gone through that. Like, you already separated your expectations from society and created your own belief system. But you're still working on figuring out how to make decisions for yourself. There's so many things that you want to do, so many ideas and projects that you want to tackle, so many things that you want to manifest into your life, that it becomes very difficult to kind of pick one and focus on one. And again, it's not, I don't mean to pick one and then you will never manifest everything else, but it's more like prioritize one thing so you can see it through. I do feel that, for example, you guys have a lot of cardinal energy, so you get very excited on creating new things, new projects, but then it becomes very challenging to maintain those things. Again, the whole idea of like the sprint rather than running a marathon, right? You just need to learn how to pace yourself. Now, the last card that we have right here is the Four of Crystals, or the Four of Pentacles. And here we have a little beaver, which is very cute. And here we have control and security. There's this sense of, I don't know, these cards are just kind of telling you how you can manifest rather than the tools you have available. So with the Four of Pentacles, there's this things of like, you can become quite fixated or obsessive on the things that you want to get in your life. Like, if you have a target in mind or like a goal, you can laser focus on it, but you burn out very quickly. So there's this sense of you just learning how to pace yourself, so like that you can continue holding on to that goal or that project, but not at the cost of your energy and your peace of mind. There's also this idea with this Four of Crystals of like finding a foundation. Because look, the Four of Pentacles usually talks about someone that is holding on to the material things so much that they can't move anywhere. So they're kind of stuck. But this beaver makes it seem like everything's okay, everything's fine. And it makes me think of someone that is building something. Someone that is protecting their home, or, building a dam. So in this sense, it just makes me think that since you're very good, as we saw here, at identifying the things that you enjoy and identifying distractions and other people's beliefs that are kind of like getting in the way of your own, since you're very good at that, use that to your advantage and be able to understand like, what do other people do, and see which pieces you can take from what other people do, like what process other people follow, and take the pieces that you feel you will enjoy or that could just be useful, so like that you can reach your goals and your manifestations. It's like, look at what other people have done to see how you can build a foundation for yourself. Of course, you don't have to follow it to the T, because if it doesn't resonate with the way that you do things, then it will be challenging for you to enjoy that process. So it's kind of like, just take inspiration from what other people do. The excitement and the process that other people go through when they're creating could fuel the spark within you to create your own ideas, or to get a bit more of guidance on the process that will be either the most efficient or the most stable towards your goals. For example, like the words that I'm saying right now could be this Four of Pentacles. This Four of Crystals. Like the words and the advice that I'm giving you right now, take whatever resonates, and whatever doesn't resonate, then leave it behind. Because whatever resonates could be what motivates you to continue manifesting. And whatever doesn't resonate just means that it's not necessarily something that is in alignment with how you function and how you work and how you think, but it could be in alignment with somebody else that would pick this pile. So that's why those things could have been said. But with all of that said, pile one, I hope that you guys like this reading. I hope that you guys learn from it or find it entertaining. And I hope it made sense. And as I mentioned just like a second ago, take whatever resonates and leave the rest behind. since this is a general reading, some things will resonate with you and other things could be said that could resonate for somebody else that will also pick this pile. All of you will be like at different stages of knowing yourself. So some of you guys may have not even been aware that you need to pace yourself. Others of you may have not even known that enjoying the process is possible and it's a way of manifesting. And maybe you didn't even know that your overthinking could be simply that there's just noise mixed in with your ability to create. So all of you guys could be in different stages, but I hope that I was able to bring you some clarity, or I hope that I was able to bring you some inspiration so you can continue creating, so you can continue manifesting, and so you can continue enjoying the process to achieve your goals. I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown me and my channel. And I hope I'm able to provide more entertaining readings for you guys. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye. Hello Pile 2, welcome to your reading. For those of you that picked the ruby or that picked this image, welcome. Let's see what tools are at your disposal for your manifestations. So underneath the ruby card will be the card that represents you in this reading. And we have the Cobra. This is a fire element. We have a fire element right there. So the Cobra. You are someone that sheds off your skin. I'm laughing because I don't know why I thought it was so funny to imagine a human shedding off their skin. You're very good at continuously improving and growing. You are very good at releasing negativity, getting rid of the old, and bringing in the new. I don't know why I thought that you may have nice, smooth skin for whatever reason. So either you really take care of your skin or moisturize. I don't know why that will be important or relevant, but if it resonates, it resonates. So yeah, red could be your color. So let me point a couple of things. Here we have like red and a bit of like violet on the bottom. The ruby, well, it's red. Then we have the root chakra, and then we have Aries energy, which Aries is like the color that is usually connected with Aries is red. I laughed a little bit when I was going to mention the root chakra, because after I said ruby, I thought of the song that Woozy has called Ruby. With this Cobra card, it makes me think I thought of Cobra Kai. So maybe Karate Kid could be relevant, important. Maybe you like action movies. Maybe you like martial arts, or maybe you know martial arts. You could be interested in it. With the Cobra, I do feel like you're someone that either you take things very seriously or people take you seriously. People can find you intimidating and scary. I do feel that you're also very good at going undercover, or like you're very good at doing things and people don't notice you right away. So you can be quite sneaky. You could be a bit more of an introvert, I feel. You enjoy your alone time. Like, you enjoy being on your own. I mean, because I'm thinking of how snakes can be under rocks. For whatever reason. I don't know. I don't really know why those things are coming up, but I mean, I'm describing you, so maybe that resonates with some of you, Pile 2. Anyway, but with the fire element, I think you're very good at just taking action, getting things done. I do feel that if anything, it just takes a while to get you to that moment of taking action. Like, either you think a lot before doing things, or you take your time to plan things through before you take action. But when it's time to create, you create. When it's time to go for something, you go for it. Even though I'm seeing a lot of red, it brings me a lot of comfort. So it's not like a red of intense energy. It's not anger. It's not even like passion. It's more like a very relaxing, stable energy. I'm thinking of red sand. Is it terracotta or terracotta? I don't know why that came up. But I'm thinking of red sand for some reason. I don't really know what that could mean to you guys. I don't know what that could mean. I'm saying that because to me, it doesn't really say anything, but it could be significant to one of you guys. But let's look at your oracle. So these 2 cards will tell us the material that you're working in for your manifestations. And when I mean material, it's because in the previous reading, the previous pick a card, which in the description below I will have the link in case you want to check that one out if you haven't, one of the piles had something along those lines, what material they're working in for their manifestation. So these 2 cards are gonna give us like this big idea. So we have stretch, and we have marine life. I will do my best to ground this energy, but with the marine life we have richness, and then we have this card called stretch. These 2 cards make me think of someone that is constantly expanding, constantly improving, and constantly growing. It made me think of stardust and space, and it also made me think of a movie called Children of the Sea, because in that one it talks about the creation of life, and it talks about like this idea of like a big function and a smaller one. It's kind of like it was connecting how the body is connected to space, how we all come from space, and it also connects it to the water. And to me, that movie is very significant. So I do feel that if you were to watch it, it could be significant for you too, pile 2. I'm thinking of whales. I was thinking of whales like the animal, but maybe whales, the place, could be significant to you guys for whatever reason. But let's go to these cards. In a stretch card, all of this that is like surrounding this figure makes me think of coral reefs, which could be connected to the marine life that we have right here. To me, the marine life card usually talks about variety, differences, uniqueness, like the richness of being different. And also I want to point out that this is the first time I've seen that there's like a figure right here as well. Like there's a woman there. So there's this sense of like the material that you're working with is very discreet. It doesn't really stand out. Like it's not flashy, that's what I mean. And it makes me think, like if I could describe your material, it will be space. But if you watch pile 1, it's not the same space. Yours, I am talking about galactic energy. And that's why I thought it would be quite challenging to bring down this energy in a way that can be tangible and understandable. I do feel that the material that you're working with is one that can change shapes, energy, and color very easily. And the only way that you're able to bring down this energy is because of how grounded you are as a person. There's this sense of ever expanding. So your material, if galactic energy didn't like could not describe it, then I think matter is the best way to describe it. It's just space. It's just this untangible but very earthy or very physical thing. It's like an invisible material or cloth that is the closest to what we can physically see, even though it's invisible. That's the best way I can describe the material that you're working with. But the other thing that I can say about your manifestation and how you can use this energy to your advantage is that it's very flexible, it's very unique, and by constantly improving on yourself, you're constantly in touch with this energy that helps you manifest. Is by not limiting yourself, you have access to this energy. And do be mindful that by standing still is not stunted growth and it's not stagnation. That's just stability. So like if you are in a place and you feel like you're not moving, it doesn't mean that things are not happening. Because for example, I'm thinking of like the difference between speed and velocity. It's like, why are we talking about this? I'll do my best to explain it because I don't fully understand it myself. So when I was taking physics, one of the things that we talked about was like if you were jumping off a plane or like an airplane, you know, what's it called? Skydiving. If you were to be skydiving, at some point you will, I don't know what the name is, but at some point you reach a point where even though you're still falling, at some point you feel like you're just floating. And that's because you already reached this point. I forgot what that point was. Oh, it's a concept that I can't wrap my head around right now. Maybe I never did. Maybe I never wrapped my head around it when I was taking physics. But yeah, it's like the difference between velocity and speed is like you're still moving forward, but it's so constant that you feel like you're just walking in place. And I'm mentioning this so that you know that you're always expanding, therefore you're always creating and manifesting what you want. It's just that there will be times that you feel like you're just floating or you're just sitting still. But do know that things are still moving, things are still growing. It's like you're at the center of all of this ever expanding energy. That's the best way I can describe it. Now let's try to bring this energy down into something a bit more tangible. Well, we're not quite there yet, actually. So these 3 cards are going to tell us about the tools that are at your disposal for your manifestation. However, this could be at your subconscious, or it may take a bit more time and effort to reach this energy or unlock these tools. So they're there for you, but maybe you don't notice them. So the first card that we have is number 15 with Maximus, and it says, how can you feed others when your own table is empty? And this is the card that I always think of, like moths to a flame, because of this right here. But hold up. Before we fully analyze it, let's look at the other cards. We have the King of Pentacles, and we have the 3 of Cups. So I want to point out that there's more red in your reading. Like these 3 cards have red on them. So the drawing for your reading, so I use cards that will inspire the drawings that I will have, that you guys will pick from. And one of the cards that came up, I think it was the Knight of Wands, which is a salamander, and that is the animal that you will see in the image that you guys picked. And I remember that all the cards that came up made me think of red. And I was like, I don't really know what I'm going to add in this picture, but one thing I do know is that it needs to have a high emphasis of red. Like the color needs to be there. Fire needs to be there. And I do feel that that is very relevant to your reading. Also, based on the cards that we have right here, I do feel that you are someone that is very stable, very mature, and someone that so many people take seriously, or a lot of people want to rely on you because of this. It's like if you were a rock. You're super grounded and you are like this unmovable force that is so sure of themselves, and a lot of people want to rely on you because they feel that you're a good support. There's this sense of that you're able to stand still. You know, the lyrics that just came up is like, I think it's called Standing Still by You Kiss. I'm burning down and you keep on standing still. That's like all the cards in front of you. Well, in front of me. So this card with the Maximus is, I do feel that you could be quite generous. So the best way that you could unlock this energy, this tool that are at your disposal, is to prioritize yourself and be a bit more detached from people. I do feel that you love to provide to others and be of support to them, And I do feel that you need to work with people. You do. It could be helpful. But I do feel that it doesn't have to be at the expense of yourself, or it doesn't have to be that you don't have to sacrifice your time, your energy, and your mind to either please others or to help others. Because this King of Pentacles tells me that you're a leader. You are either the breadwinner of your house, or you are the one that naturally you have this leadership skill that a lot of people want to follow you. A lot of people want to be involved in your projects because they feel that they will succeed if they're with you. And I think that you usually don't mind being with people, helping them out and surrounding them. I do feel that you are someone that likes to keep to themselves, but you don't necessarily mind socializing with people. You don't mind working with people. And I don't think it really gets in the way of what you want to do to work with others. However, with this Three of Cups, there's this sense of like hanging out with friends, having fun, working with others could be helpful, could be beneficial. So this card right here tells me that you need to learn to prioritize yourself. I don't feel this is much of an issue for you, but in case it is, take care of yourself, prioritize yourself. Learn to discern the difference between people that want to use you as a crutch and like rely on you in a codependent way, and then people that just want to enjoy their time with you and just have fun. So the difference between codependent relationships and interdependent relationships. So the idea of individuals that can think for themselves and work for themselves, but decide to work together. I'm thinking of the Three of Pentacles as well. So experts in their field that are working together for a common goal, which is different from people that don't know what they're doing, don't know themselves, and they're just leaning on others constantly. Like, I'm thinking of energy vampires. Be mindful of those people as well. Because I do feel that you're such a stable rock that you may find it very difficult to realize that some people are using you. Let me just put it that way. Let me just be extra blunt. Pile two. So this King of Pentacles tells me that you're someone that is meant for success. You're someone that you already know how you work. You already know how you function. This is Capricorn energy, by the way. You already know what your plans are and how you're going to achieve your goals and how you're going to manifest them. It's just a matter of time. You're just someone that is slowly but surely working towards your goals. And I think people can feel that in a subconscious level. And because of that, a lot of people are over here like, let me work with you, let me join you on your project when you talk about the things that you want to do. And I think that you are I think you're very caring and nurturing in such a way that you may take in these people in, and if these people cannot stand on their own 2 feet, they're just gonna drag you down with them. But I think that you're so grounded and so stable that it takes a special kind of person to actually bring you down. If anything, just be mindful that even if one person cannot actually drag you through the mud was the words that came up, be mindful that multiple people can. Like, it can build up, basically. So just clear your friend group, clear your space, your relationships. Just clear them up. Make sure that whoever's in your circles, whoever's in your energy, is people that are not getting in the way. Let me just put it that way. But yeah, the Three of Cups. So the tools that are at your disposal is your ability to just attract people. Your ability to be a leader to these people and being very good at delegating. Like, you do this, you do that. You're very good at that. And I think that this could be a bit more in your subconscious because you tend to do things on your own. You prefer to do things on your own. But do know that working with others is a tool available for you. Just, if anything, you just need to have discernment and making sure that you know who is relying on you heavily and who's actually working with you. So just be mindful of that. But now, then the next bit of cards that we have right here are tools that are at your disposal that you are either already using or you can visualize yourself using. And these cards are just highlighting those things. It could be character traits, it could be ideas, or it could be things, opportunities, people type of thing. And these cards are just, if you already have this, it's just highlighting to you that this is something that you are already doing that you should continue, or this is something that you have that you don't even realize could help you, right? So this is things that usually come pretty effortlessly, right? So let's look at your oracle. So we have Marigold with positivity. This is an air element, and here we have Leo energy. Also, we have a dream catcher, so that could be important. We have Lemon with cleansing. This is a water element, and we have Gemini energy. So the first thing I thought of with that Gemini energy is friend groups. Because I'm thinking of the third house, which is the house of siblings, the house of communication, short travels, and you can even say friendship. Brother in arms, that's the words that came up. So, do know. Okay, a bunch of things are coming through. So, again, I'm just mentioning that because it kind of goes back to the tools that you are not aware of. It's like, yeah, working with other people could be helpful, could be beneficial. Just be mindful of who you're working with. That's it. And this card is kind of mentioning the whole idea that I just literally talked about. Cleansing your friend group or cleansing your relationships. Well, also with a lemon, I'm thinking of something that could be... Okay. Something that can be bittersweet. So, yeah, it could be, there's some people that you can keep in your life, but maybe you don't want to work with them for manifestations. So maybe, there could be family members that you're like, I know that you have the best interest in mind for me. I know that you want to help me and be there for me. But your work ethic does not align with the way that I manifest. Or your ideas, your beliefs clash with what I want to create. And there's nothing wrong with compartmentalizing this idea. So being able to say, this is my family, and they're just family. These are my friends, and they're just my friends. And then these are the people that I'm working to manifest what I want to manifest. You don't have to make all of those relationships intermingle. You don't force yourself to work with people just because they have the best interest in you. Because even if they want to support you and they do have... Maybe they have... How should I put it? Maybe their support for you is genuine, but maybe their way of working things through is not the methods that align with your manifestations. So be mindful of that. You don't have to keep everyone that has... You can have someone that's very kind and very caring, but maybe they just can't work. So there's nothing wrong with just telling them to take a step back. So that's what I'm saying. It could be bittersweet. Like, someone could have the greatest of intentions and just have the wrong method. Anyway, so this dream catcher makes me think of cleansing your mind and making sure that you are able to get rid of negativity within the people that you connect with, the people that you're working with. Like, when you're manifesting, don't allow other people's ideas or beliefs to get in the way of what you want to do. Don't let other people's doubts, fears, worries, and insecurities bring you down either. Like, don't take their insecurities for a fact that you should be concerned of those same insecurities. Like, don't take it personally. Don't take it to heart. Those are the best way I can describe that. But yeah, this marigold makes me think of, like, your creativity flows when you are in a positive mindset. Like, you're super grounded, but I think you don't even realize when negativity is surrounding you, and you don't even realize that it's subconsciously affecting you. Because, again, it takes a lot for someone to take you off of your center. So you don't even realize that people are already, like, sipping through the cracks of your integrity were the words that came up. I don't really know how that connects, though. Anyway, but Some of the tools that you can use for your manifestation is writing, drawing, or sketching with the pens right here. When you are asleep or daydreaming or maybe even meditating, those are ways that you can manifest what you want. Being excited, happy, and visualizing the future could be helpful for your manifestations. And communicating and talking to others about what you want to do. But again, also be mindful, because when you do that, people will want to include themselves in your projects. So try not to take into heart what those people say. Like, don't make their insecurities be your burdens, and don't make their desires for success to, like, almost like leeches, get into your energy of what you want to do with your own success. You know what I mean? It's like someone that wants to feel like they're doing something good, so then they just insert themselves in your life. Be mindful of people like that. I think that that's something that could constantly come up with you. You're someone that people can tell from miles away that you will be successful in whatever it is that you want to do. And to kind of satisfy themselves and feel like they are successful, they will want to, like, hold on to you and feel like they're participating when they're not. They're just baggage. They're just a burden. But let's look at more of your cards. We have Trout Lily with Patience. We have Cohosh with Repel. Okay, so remember how I mentioned that you will have to get rid of people that want to, like, latch onto you to feel successful, since they know that you will be successful. Well, this Repel card makes me think of getting rid of negativity, getting rid of like energy vampires, getting rid of people that, even if they're not aware of, they're being codependent and using you to feel good. Again, is that you are so stable and so reliable that people just want to be close to you to feel stable themselves. And I do feel there's people around you that do have the best interest in mind for you and want to help you. And, like, this is, how should I put it? This is challenging. I do feel this could be quite challenging, especially if you have a very generous heart. Because I do feel that it's very challenging for some people to be practical and have a cold mind when they're making decisions, and still be empathetic and compassionate towards others. I do feel that it's easier for people that can put their differences aside when they're making decisions, because they're able to be like, this is not personal. If you take it personal, that's on you, though. But I do feel like when someone is like, that's not their natural state, it can be quite challenging to tell people to back off, or to tell them to, in a very straightforward way, tell them that it's none of their business. But yeah, with the Patience, I do feel that you are a very tolerant person. You have very high tolerance, and you're very patient with people. I don't know why people keep coming up. Again, I guess if you're like the breadwinner of your house, it makes sense that maybe your family will be involved in whatever manifestations you have in mind, whatever goals you have in mind, because they are a responsibility you're taking care of. Or maybe the people that you surround yourself are quite nosy and they want to get involved in your business constantly. So maybe that's why I keep mentioning people. But I do feel like you're very patient. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it takes a lot for anyone or anything to take you off of your center. So I guess it makes sense that this Patience card came up. Like, your patience is a tool that is useful, because it allows you to plan ahead, and it allows you to not get frustrated if your manifestations don't come as quickly. And since with the Patience card, I also feel that if you make a mistake, or if things don't work at first for you, you don't get frustrated and just give up. You do try. So there's a sense of resilience. There's a sense of never giving up. There's a sense of working hard towards your goals. Like, you do have the energy of slow and steady. You have the energy of, I'm thinking of a bulger. Like, you're very good at just, you have the strength or the power or the mental strength to work towards your goals. Like, you don't give up easily. And with a repel, again, there's a sense of like, you are kind and compassionate. I'm thinking of all the green makes me think of the heart chakra. And you follow your heart, you do what you want to do, what makes you happy. So this positivity, I do feel that it is in alignment with you. I don't think that you necessarily feel happy, you're just content. However, you also don't feel sad, you just kind of are. Like, there's this sense of living in the present moment and just existing in the now in such a way that you don't necessarily feel extreme emotions, which again, that also shows others that you are someone that they can rely on. But also, since you're like, you have, of course you have emotions, of course you have your little heart. However, you are not easily swayed by your emotions. Like, you don't have mood swings, let me put it that way. Your emotions are not super intense, and because of that, you're able to kind of keep a cool mind and make decisions and get things done. And this repel card makes me think that you're very good at getting rid of negativity and getting rid of burdens and unnecessary thoughts. Now, when it comes to people, I don't know how good you are at that, but you could be working on it, or how should I put it? Even if you already know how to tell the difference between codependent relationships and like stable relationships, like healthy ones, even if you are very good at doing that, that doesn't mean that undesirable people enter your life. Well, okay, undesirable, sure. I mean, it's not necessarily a strong word. It's just like, I wouldn't phrase it that way. So when it did, it was just like, okay, sure. So even if you're very good at that, that doesn't mean that people that you just want to rely on you without giving anything in return don't enter your life, or don't try to. So all I'm saying is that there's a repel card tells me that one of the tools of your manifestation is that you are very good at getting rid of unnecessary energy, and that includes people, unnecessary people. Okay, now let's look at the tarot. So this is the first time I'm using the Spirit Song Tarot in the channel, so I hope it can give us a lot more insight into the tools that are available for you for your manifestation. So we have the Star reverse with the Swan. We have the Ace of Feathers, or the Ace of Swords. And we have the Hangman reverse. So the animals that we have, with the Star, we have the Swan. With the Ace of Feathers, we have a goat. And with the Hangman reverse, we have the Praying Mantis. Okay. Even if these cards are reversed, they feel so positive to me somehow. So with the Star, okay, you are very good at figuring out what your goals are, what you're aiming for, and having that clarity makes it easier to figure out the path towards achieving those goals. So that's one of the tools that you have, or something that you're very good at. So continue with that. If anything, I feel this card is reversed because you don't like to rely on untangible trust. And what I mean by that is destiny and fate. You don't really like to rely on those things. You prefer to think of what you can do in the now and what's available for you right now. You don't really like to depend on divine timing, or depend on, as I mentioned, destiny and fate. So for things to just align in your favor. So if anything, just continue daydreaming, continue being hopeful, but at the same time, yeah, continue with your plans of moving forward and getting things done. how should I put it? I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're doing right now, as much as just do know that there is the serendipity, that was the word that came up, and just fate is in your favor and it's working in your manifestations as well. So if anything, just be mindful that there is magic out there where it seems like everything just aligns perfectly for you to achieve your goals or to reach your dreams. Like, do know that it happens, that it's there. So like that you can lighten a little bit of the burden of taking responsibility for everything that you do. I don't know, there's this sense of like just trust. But what you're doing is not wrong, so continue doing that. The swan makes me think of one of the cards in the spirit animal card oracle that I have. And in that one, the swan says, time for a deep dive. So that makes me think that connecting to your spirituality could be beneficial. So that you can get in tune with your intuition. And you can use your intuition as another tool for your planning. And as another tool to be like this guiding light. Because to me, the star talks about a wish come true. It talks about hope and faith, but to me the star also talks about a guiding light, the northern star. So to me it makes me think that if you connect to your intuition and you use that as a tool for manifestation, it will help you and guide you into the unknown, and it could just be another factor that you can include in your planning. That's it. So the star reverse doesn't make me think that you feel hopeless or that you feel like your manifestations can't come true. If anything, it just kind of shows me that you prefer to take things under your own hands and do what you can to achieve your goals. So if anything, this star being reversed tells me that there's just this additional little tweaks that you can add, which in this case it will be intuition. Now with the Ace of Feathers, we have mental clarity and foundation. You do have a very clear mind. To me, it was obvious that you are very good at discerning. You're very good at improving. Cleansing and positivity make me kind of do add to this whole idea of having a clear mind. And I do feel that having such a healthy root chakra does help ground yourself, and definitely helps you have a clear mind because you're not overthinking things. You're not so up in the intangible world. Maybe I could learn a thing or two from you, Pile, too, to be honest. But anyway, with the Ace of Feathers being the equivalent to the Ace of Swords, it kind of talks about someone that is able to have clear communication, someone that has a clear mind, and a clear channel or connection to spirit. So if anything, one tool that you have at your disposal that maybe you're underusing right now is your connection to your spiritual team, your connection to your higher self, and your connection to nature and the behind the scenes manifestation that are outside of your power. So the whole idea of surrendering. Also with the goat, I did read a little bit about the meaning of the goat in this card, and it talked about being able to reach places that others cannot reach, and something also about walking difficult roads. So that kind of shows that those are some of your advantages when you're manifesting. You don't give up easily. You don't mind taking a bumpy road or the road less traveled. I feel that you don't mind taking those paths as long as it is part of your plan. Because there's this sense of like you trust yourself so much and you know yourself so well that even if you go down a challenging path or go down a journey that you know is going to be filled with obstacles, you don't mind because you trust that you will be able to overcome every single one of those obstacles. You know that you're going to do well. You have a clear mind, so you're able to plan accordingly, even for the things that you don't know you needed to plan for. There's a sense of like you trust that you are a good problem solver, so whatever issue you encounter, you will be able to overcome it. There's a sense of like the foundation that is very strong within you is your communication from within. You trust yourself, you trust your mind, and that makes it easier to take steps forward towards the unknown. Also, aces are the beginning of a new journey, so it tells me that you're not only very good at planning, but you're also so good at communicating within yourself that you're able to communicate your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities, and being able to, instead of using that as a blockage, being able to just acknowledge them and have the courage to move forward despite knowing those things that could hold you back. Lastly, the Hangman reverse makes me think, especially with the praying mantis, it makes me think of grasshopper, right? So little grasshopper, so having an apprentice of sorts. So the Hangman reverse makes me think that you know when to take a break, so you don't push yourself too hard. Yes, you don't give up, but you also don't burn out. There's also this idea of like, you have a very flexible way of thinking, even within your planning. Like, I do feel that when you're planning, because earth signs could be seen as a bit, not necessarily stubborn, but definitely stuck in their ways. It's like, if you have a plan, you can get frustrated if you go out of schedule or out of plan. However, with a Hangman reverse, I think that you are very good at shifting or changing your plans as long as you feel like it will be beneficial to achieving your goals. So that flexibility that you have, it is something that will be very useful when it comes to your manifestations. And also your ability to learn. So you're not super stuck in your ways. You are open-minded enough to know that you can learn from every experience, from every mistake, and from anyone that you encounter. Like, you know that there's always room for improvement, there's always room for expansion and growth. Therefore, I do feel that that is a useful tool, because that when you encounter an obstacle or when you encounter something you don't know, instead of seeing it as something daunting or instead of seeing it as something that will stop you, you just see it as an opportunity to continue growing. And that flexibility allows you to continue with your manifestations without, in an easier fashion, let me put it that way. Lastly, let me point out the signs that you have here. With the star, we have Aquarius energy, so that kind of shows that you are a rebel, or that kind of shows that you don't mind going against the current. As long as it is what you wish, you will go for it. And with the Hangman reverse, we have Neptune energy, which means that you are a daydreamer, or you are able to bypass the unknown or confusion. So you're very good at discerning situations. You're very good at understanding what's going on. So yeah. So that's all I have for you, Pile 2. I hope you liked your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I really, really like your energy. It's so stable, so soothing, very calming, and it did put a lot of things into perspective for me, at least. I don't know. It's like the very good balance between planning so you can organize your ideas, but also not having like this perfectionist mindset that could sometimes lead into fear of making mistakes and jumping into the unknown. So I do feel that since you have such a good balance, it did put into perspective for me that reaching this energy is possible. So pile number 2, thank you for that. Anyway, I hope that you, make sure that you take whatever resonates and leave the rest behind, as always. And I hope that you find this entertaining, or at least learn from it. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you've shown me and my channel. And I hope that I'm able to provide further insightful readings or fun readings. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Once again, I hope this reading was helpful. And yeah, love and healing from my part to you. And bye. Hello, Pile 3, or for those of you that picked the Lapis Lazuli or this image, this is your reading. So the card that was underneath the stone that you picked is a card that will represent you, which is a dolphin, and this is a water element. Okay. So this shows that you are a happy-go-lucky person, you're optimistic, you enjoy your life, you're very smart, very creative, I'm getting, and you like to goof around and be a little bit silly, play, enjoy your time. With the water element, it kind of shows that you are very creative, spiritual, in tune with your emotions, and it also shows that you're quite intuitive as well. So you just you're very good at reading the room, or even if you're not, you're very good at sensing people's shifts of energy. Also with the dolphin, you can be a little bit of a troublemaker or a bit of a prankster. Like you love to just have fun and maybe like annoy people a little bit or like bother them, you know. You like to push people's buttons, let me put it that way. You like to live a dangerous life in that sense. What else? Yeah, I think your energy is quite straightforward. I think you are very lighthearted as well. Your optimistic nature makes it for your happiness and your laugh to be quite contagious. I do feel that you learn very quickly, and if not, you really enjoy to learn new things. With the Lapis Lazuli, that kind of shows that you are very intuitive. Also, right here we have the third eye energy. You know what song I'm getting? I got Red Velvet on a Ride stuck in my head right now. And that makes me think that you are someone that either you like roller coasters, you like extreme sports, or you are someone that's just having fun. Because I'm also thinking of just like how Red Velvet had the whole like festival thing, and that's like a huge amusement park. Like their concept was like that basically, and that could be relevant to you guys somehow. Also, I do feel that some of you guys could be either quite young or you have a very young spirit. Like, you have either gone through it and you told yourself, I decide to be happy, so I'm just going to have fun. And you have like this very healthy inner child, or you could be quite young, so you have not been destroyed by the challenging difficulties or just disappointments of life. Let me put it that way. So yeah, very happy energy, very content. Now, also this dolphin energy could just be the energy that you're in right now, and maybe you, like, I have a feeling that some of you could be like, really? Am I like that? You are. You do have a very healthy young soul. So the next 3 cards that we have right here will show us like the material that you're working with your manifestations. And I'm saying this because in the description below I will have a link to the pick a card that kind of inspired this whole idea of like the material that you're working with when you're manifesting. And this material is just like an intangible energy basically that you're working with when you are manifesting basically. So let's look at your cards. We have efficiency. This time, this made me think of a pentacle. So I'll keep that in mind. We have fire with the word ignition. And we have voice with the keyword speaking your word. And I do want to mention that these 2 cards are kind of, they have a similar pose of kind of like, you know what it made me think of? It made me think of Shun Li in Virtual Fighters. he does like drunken kung fu, and every time he takes every time he drinks, he kind of like bends back in such a way that it kind of made me think of these 2 people. So I think it's hilarious because maybe you enjoy drinking, maybe you just enjoy having a good time. You are a very unserious person in the sense of like you just gotta go with the flow and do your own thing. Anyway, the energy that the material that you're working with, or like this big idea when it comes to your manifestations. You are someone that is very good at planning and just getting things done with the efficiency. Like you're very good at figuring out your strengths. Like the material that you're working with is one that responds very quickly. So when you're manifesting or you're trying to get in touch with your abundance, it's always ready and available for you. Like it's always ready to create when you are ready to create. Like it only works when you want it to work. And what I mean by that is like when you say, oh, I'm ready to get this done, that's when everything moves in your favor. So when you want to manifest, this material that you're working with is always moving and always ready to go. However, it needs a spark, and that spark is your intention. It's like when you set the intention to get something done, that's when everything gets moving. That's when everything starts shifting in your favor. So this efficiency card makes me think that the material that you're working with is one that is constantly moving, and all it needs is for you to tell it, let's get working. That's all it needs. That's the speaking your words makes me think that the best way to activate this is by either writing down your intentions or speaking out your intentions of, I want to do this, I plan to do this, this is my goal, this is what I'm aiming for. And that's when all the energy or the material that you're working with to manifest starts moving and starts shifting into what you need for this manifestation or for your goals, basically. So that pentacle makes me think, well, it's not a pentacle, but it made me think of a pentacle, so it makes me think of the Ace of Pentacles. That's what I'm getting at. So it almost feels like this spark that you ignite when you say, this is what I'm going to work on. The moment you set your intentions, things get working in such a way that it's ready to create or go on this journey, the start of this journey, in a very stable and promising way. Like, it makes me think of, like, I'm combining the Ace of Pentacles definition with what I'm seeing here. It makes me think of, like, the moment you set your intentions, all of a sudden the universe, fate, and destiny start aligning everything to physically or in a more tangible way bring you the tools necessary for what you need. So yeah, it's like when you spark the fire within you, this material becomes visible and tangible in your hands. If I could describe the material that you're working with, it would be fire, but with hints of earth. And what I mean by that is, like, this fire is not dangerous and is not something that you cannot control. That's where the earth comes in. Like, it's something material and physical that you can work with. And if anything, the fire is a metaphor to your motivation and inspiration. And also there's a bit of air here, but to me that air is a fuel. It's like, I forgot, I think what you need for a fire is 3 things, and it was like oxygen, fuel, and a spark. I think that's what you need, the components for a fire. I hope I'm right. I don't know. But if that's the case, then the spark will be your intention, and the fuel is this material that you are working with. And if anything, the oxygen or the thing that's feeding this fire will be your, like, the work that you put in, or continuous intention that you put in. So yeah, the material that you're working with, it will be fire. So it's one that works with happiness, with motivation, inspiration. It's one that works with passions and desires. So when you set the intention, it's like if you're already telling it, this is what I desire in life, this is what I'm aiming for in life, and boom, it fires up. But now let's look at the other cards that we have right here. Now these cards are like the tools that are at your disposal, but maybe you're not aware of these tools. So either it takes a bit more time, or it might be a bit more challenging to get in tune with this energy or with these opportunities, or it is just something that you don't even realize you have within you. So the first card that we have is number 28 with the word sacrifice. What can you let go of? The next card that we have right here is the Two of Pentacles. We have the Six of Wands reverse, and we have the Ace of Pentacles, which I was talking about in your reading already. So I see that as something that had to definitely be talked about for sure. So, okay. To me, there's 2 things that are very clear. 1, this Ace of Pentacles tells me that the universe is in your favor. Destiny is in your favor. Like, they want to give you something. They want to offer opportunities, money, or projects that will get you closer to your manifestations, to your dreams and your goals. Like, there's this sense that the universe is in your favor. Like, the universe wants to work with you, pile 3. The universe has plans for you to succeed and to get something stable in your life. Anyway, so this makes me think that the universe wants to offer you a lot of things. However, there's fears that you're holding on to, fears of success, fears of failure, fears of making mistakes with the Six of Wands reverse. All of these things are things that hold you back from receiving this abundance, from starting new things in your life. It's like the universe is promising you all of these beautiful things, and either you don't believe in them, or you find these responsibilities a bit burdensome, or you are afraid of doing your part for this thing to succeed. It's kind of like the universe wants to offer you an opportunity, but then one of the things that you fear is the responsibilities that come with these opportunities that are being offered to you. So let's say it's like a new job, and you're like, yeah, it will help me either create the money that I need for my manifestations, or yeah, this job is what I've always dreamed of. But then to maintain that opportunity, it takes dedication, concentration, and well, it will take your time, your focus, and energy, and those responsibilities can feel a bit overwhelming to you, pile 3. So maybe that's why you could be a bit afraid of taking on these opportunities, because you feel like you have to sacrifice something. So it could be sacrifice your time, sacrifice your energy, and it's kind of like, instead of seeing it as a sacrifice of something burdensome, just see it as like, that's just part of the course. That's just kind of how it works. With the sacrifice card, what can you let go of? It makes me think that there's fears that hold you back, things that you have to let go of. The person floating on what seems like water, it makes me think that your emotions do help you stay happy, be intuitive and creative, but it can also be a very overwhelming force that can make you feel like you're overthinking things, and it can almost feel like you're drowning with all of these worries and fears. And this Two of Pentacles makes me think that you need to find a balance. Like, you're very good with your time management, you're very good with planning things out. However, you need to have a balance between you having fun and your responsibilities, making sure that you don't feel burdened, but at the same time understanding that there's tedious work that has to get done sometimes, right? That there's just things that need to be done in order for you to achieve the most enjoyable parts of life. It's kind of like sometimes you have to work for your manifestations, basically. And that work, it could be a bit challenging, it could be a bit hard, but it's a stepping stone towards what it is that you are aiming for and what it is that your goal is. So there's a sense about having balance and understanding that sacrifices have to be made sometimes. And by sacrifices in this case, I'm not saying that you have to do something that you hate, as much as it means that sometimes you just have to take care of the responsibilities to make time for enjoyment, or take care of the responsibilities in order to create the foundation for something that you enjoy, basically. So yeah, a tool that you have is your planning and time management. That's something in your favor that maybe you don't even realize that you have. And the Ace of Pentacles is opportunities that the universe wants to offer to you that you don't realize that are available for you. And the Six of Wands reverse. So the Six of Wands usually talks about success and being given credit for your hard work. I do feel that you can easily be under the spotlight, and maybe that can be a bit scary and a bit overwhelming. I do feel that your own success scares you. I'm not too sure why that could be, but do know that you will be successful. So, reap the rewards of your hard work, okay? Like, if you're going to be acknowledged for your efforts and your hard work, don't see it as a punishment. Just see it as it's just a consequence of success. So yeah, the best way that you can unlock all of these beautiful tools at your disposal is by understanding what it is that you're afraid of, getting clarity, understanding, and then having the courage to overcome those fears. Not necessarily ignoring them, but working with them in the sense of knowing that those things will come up when you are moving forward. So if you feel some resistance or like you're pushing back on something, do you know that it's probably because you are triggering a fear or some worries or doubts. The next cards that we have right here will give us information on the tools that you have for your manifestation, but you're a bit more aware of these tools. That these are tools that are already available for you and are just being highlighted as things that you could continue working on, or you should these things are like come naturally to you, or you could already be doing these things, or you could already have these traits, as much as these are things that you don't mind doing and you are aware that can be done and are just being highlighted to you as a tool that you can use. So the first card that we have is Dahlia with Refinement. And we have Stimulation. We have Chili with Stimulation. So with Dahlia, we have the air element and Scorpio energy. And with the Chili, we have fire element with Aries energy. So with the Scorpio and Aries, that automatically makes me think of Mars. So that planet of Mars to me is very important because it's in my 6th house and Mars is my ruling planet. So that automatically makes me think of just going with the flow, following your instincts, jumping into the unknown by just taking action, staying inspired, motivated, and just moving forward. Mars is like a warrior type of energy. So it's like when you are entering the unknown, just go for it, push forward, get things done. Also with the air and fire energy that we have right here, it makes me think that one of the tools that you have is your ability to just take action, your ability to just get things done, your ability to push forward. You're very good at communicating with your emotions. You're very good at communicating with your transformations. So what I mean by that is that one of the tools that you have at your disposal is that you're very good at saying, this is what I need to change in order to achieve my goals. This is what I need to get rid of in order to move forward. That doesn't mean that it makes it easier to overcome those issues. It just means that you are aware that those could be potential obstacles that get in the way of your manifestation. The other thing that I'm getting is that you're very good at just communicating in general and thinking. So you're very good at planning. You're very good at talking to others if necessary. And you're also very good at just gathering the information necessary to plan for your manifestation. The other thing that I'm getting here with now with the Chili, this Aries energy tells me that you can be quite impulsive. You love to just take action. You go with the flow. You adapt quite easily. And funnily enough, with the Chili, I'm thinking that you are usually filled with energy, because one of the things that my sister always makes fun of is the whole idea of like, who needs coffee in the morning when you can just eat something spicy to wake up? And that is true. I do feel that there's this sense of like a wake up call, or a sense of like re-energizing yourself, or the sense of like just like sparking inspiration within you very quickly and very easily. It's like waking up. It's like finally bringing yourself back, like organizing yourself, and then bringing your senses up to par to those ideas that are coming into your mind. So it's like you're thinking of all the things that you want to do. You organize them enough. So the whole planning thing, you organize them enough so you can get started on those ideas. And it's like you're planning as you go, and you're also kind of just going with the flow. So your plans are not super like set on stone, but they're enough so like that you have some sort of guidance. It's kind of like you have like a little bit of so like your planning is like suggestions. It's like, I could do this, I could do that, so you are flexible enough. You're not super rigid with your thinking. Now let's look at some of the other cards. We have Hawthorn with Sacred. We have Samphire with Adventure. You are not afraid of jumping into the unknown. You are afraid of your own success. However, you are not afraid of trying new things. If you find it fun or enjoyable, you go for it. With Sacred, I'm thinking of someone that takes care of the smallest of details. So either you plan a lot, or you are usually very grateful for even the smallest things that the universe gives you or offers you. So you're very grateful. And I think because of that, that's why the material that you work with is always ready to work with you. All you have to do is set the intention, and this material or this energy starts aligning to work with you. And that's because you're very grateful. That gratefulness and that happiness that you give life, that positivity that you bring into life, is one of the things that makes it easier for the universe to work with you. Why? Because they're like, oh, this person notices, this person is aware of what we are able to offer and bring to them. And it's kind of like you give credit to where credit's due. So like, if you feel the universe is bringing all this abundance into your life, you acknowledge it, and because of that, you don't resist it. However, I do feel that sometimes the universe is like, but I want to give you more, and that's when you start resisting a little bit more. Especially if it's like, okay, I just need you to do this so that you can trigger this event, and that's when you go, yeah, I don't know about that. That's when you hesitate a bit more. But yeah, with this sacred, it makes me think that you are usually very grateful for even the smallest of things, and that is like bringing you good karma in a way. And again, with this adventure card, is like one of the tools that you have at your disposal is you have this energy of someone that wants to learn, someone that wants to just experience life, go with the flow, and that spontaneous curiosity is what could be very beneficial to your manifestations, because it can guide you down the intuitive or spiritual path to your success or to your manifestation. It's like by just going with the flow, you surrender to destiny and fate in such a way that is slowly guiding you and leading you towards your goals. Now let's look at the other cards that we have here. So this is the debut, or the first time I use the Spirit Song Tarot on my channel. So let's see what they have to say. We have the 10 of Shells with the seagull, and it has blessings and well-being. And this is a 10 of Cups. So it's like you are optimistic for the future. You have big plans. You want your happily ever after, and you will get your happily ever after. Have faith. We have the Knight of Feathers, or the Knight of Swords, with action focus, and I think this is a coyote. I think. And then we have the Ace of Acorns, or the Ace of Wands reverse, and this is a ram, which is Aries energy with the ram. So you have very good cards, actually. So the other tools that you have at your disposal, the 10 of Shells, is your ability to imagine your future and visualize it is a step closer to manifesting that future. It's like your ability to just trust in your happily ever after. The optimistic nature that this imagination brings you is a positivity that you need to set the intentions to create. It's like by imagining the future that you desire and that you want, you are getting a step closer to that future. Because that positivity that you get, or like that boost of energy that you get from imagining your happily ever after of sorts, is what gets the energy to manifest moving. It's like they start shaping into that future they're visualizing. Now with the Knight of Feathers, or the Knight of Swords, we have action and focus. One of the other skills that you have is that when you start working towards your manifestations, you are laser focused. You are just working towards it, no distractions. You put all of your energy and attention into what's needed to achieve those goals. And that is a tool that does help you manifest it. That your ability to focus and center that energy makes it possible for all of that untangible energy to become a bit more focused and set a stronger foundation to be physically available or physically created, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like if you have this big idea, the moment that you concentrate on that idea, let's say you're writing it down or you start planning and sketching for it, that's when it becomes a bit more tangible and it can become more feasible to be into the 3D world. if that makes sense. Also, the Knight of Feathers is Gemini energy, so that makes me think that you are someone that moves very quickly, you learn fast, and if you combine that with the adventure and the Mars energy that I talked about earlier, you just move forward. Like the moment you have a goal in mind and the motivation or the energy to move towards that goal, like lightning speed, you go towards it. You, like, no obstacle gets in the way. Yeah, your ability to focus on your goals is impressive. So do know that that is a useful tool to your manifestations as well. Lastly, we have the Ace of Acorns reverse. With this card, it kind of feels like, if anything, it takes you a while to get started on your journeys. Because of what we talked about earlier, like your fear of success could make it for you to be afraid of taking that first step. Because the Ace of Acorns makes me think of getting the green light to move forward and get things done. So when it's reversed, it could mean that it's not the right time, or it could mean that you are holding yourself back or putting resistance to taking action, and that's why things are not moving forward. Aces are the beginning of a new journey, and it makes me think that the hardest, which is true for everyone, the hardest step is the first step when you want to do something, right? When you want to work on a project or get something done, the hardest thing is to get started. And I feel that with you, it's even more real, or it's a bigger thing that you work on, right? I do feel that the moment you overcome this first step, things just kind of flow. Things just kind of fall into place and they just work smoothly. So if anything, do know that when you're manifesting, the hardest part is to get started. And it could be as simple, and getting started could be as simple as setting your intentions. Like sometimes for you, pile 3, it could be challenging to manifest something into your life because it takes a while for you to organize your ideas and understand what it is that you want to bring into your life. So setting your intentions, like, what is it that I want? What is it that I desire? So getting those ideas straight is usually what holds you back from getting started, and also the fear of success, as well as the fear of failure for some reason. It's like you definitely start visualizing the future that you want. You look forward to it. It makes you happy. It excites you and motivates you to get things done. However, sometimes those expectations can be so high that you start fearing that you will not accomplish it, or that maybe it was too good to be true, or maybe it was just a dream. Also, there's times when you're like daydreaming and visualizing the future that you kind of see the end goal, but you can't really visualize that bridge between where you are right now to the future that you're aiming for. And that's why sometimes your intentions can be quite hard to set in, because you can be like, okay, I want that future that I saw. I want that future that I imagined I wanted. But then you start thinking about how can I make that future happen? And that's when it takes you a bit of time. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing of like, you don't know what you want, as much as it's like it just naturally takes time for you to kind of organize your ideas and know how to move forward or how to move towards your manifestations. Because sometimes what you want is like something that is quite untangible, so like an idea or a feeling or a vibe. So sometimes it will take you some research or some time to meditate or like think about this, so that you can set an intention of like, okay, universe, this is what I want. So then you can start working with the universe to manifest it and create it. So do know that the tools in your favor are your happiness, your ability to be grateful, your curious nature of just learning new things and going into the unknown, your visualizations, and your ability to just take action and get things done. If anything, the things that you don't even know that you have is your time management and planning, as well as like with a snap of your fingers, the universe is at your disposal, and they're like, whatever you need, pile 3, we will help you with it. If anything, the only thing that you have to work on is overcoming your fear of success and your fear of making mistakes. And also to be understanding that it sometimes takes you time to get started on your manifestations. Because it takes a while to organize your thoughts, or it just takes a while for you to warm up to the idea of something nice in your life. Anyway, pile 3, I will leave this here. I hope that you guys like this reading, learn from it, or at least find it entertaining. Remember to take what resonates and leave the rest behind, because that could be meaningful for somebody else that it's not you, but I also picked pile 3. And I'll see you on the next one, or whatever that is, however that is. But before I say goodbye, I want to say thank you for all the love and support you have shown me and my channel, and I hope that I'm able to provide more entertaining readings or more helpful ones when I do pick a card readings. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to say is that in the description below I will have the link to the pick a card reading that kind of went before this one, that is also about manifestation, in case you want to check that one out. And I think that's it. So, love and healing from my part to you. I'll see you in the next one, whatever that is, however that is. And thank you for all the love and support once again. Bye. Hello, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. For those of you that picked Aragonite or this image, this is your reading. So, behind the stone that you picked, we have the cards that will represent you in this reading. So, we have the horse spirit and the zebra spirit. So the horse spirit, we have the earth element, and there's a moon of the third eye of this horse. And with the zebra, we have the fire element, and there is this rainbow triangle on the third eye of this zebra. So that makes me think that you are someone that, I'm thinking of horsepower. Maybe you have a nice smile, maybe you have beautiful hair, nice eyelashes. There is also this sense of someone that moves very quickly. You are someone that people can rely on with a horse. You are someone that can carry a lot of burdens or a lot of responsibilities at once. I'm thinking of the 10 of Wands. And with a zebra, it also makes me think that you're someone that is very good at camouflaging, or very good at being with other people as well. Like, you travel with your pack, you travel with your people. Also, there's a lot of like third eye movement energy with the golden moon and the third eye of the horse and the rainbow triangle on the third eye of the zebra. It makes me think that you're someone with a very active third eye, meaning that you use your intuition a lot and you have clarity. Your discernment is on point. Very good. Also, we have the heart chakra being highlighted in the Aragonite, and also we have Capricorn energy. That makes me think that you're someone that you know how to organize your ideas, you know how to plan things out and move towards your goals and manifestations, but you're also I feel that you're very family orientated, or whoever you have in your close circles, those people matter a lot and you care about those people a lot. You're also very well balanced with all of this energy here of like, I don't know, there's a sense of having like a practical mind, taking action. If anything, the only element that will be lacking here will be air. So maybe communication is not necessarily your strength, but everything else is in very good alignment, because we have fire, we have earth, and with the heart and stuff, I'm thinking of water energy, being able to connect with your emotions, being in tune with that side of yourself. Seems like your spirituality and your physical side, so your 3D and your 5D, are pretty well aligned as well, meaning that you are able to understand what it is outside of your power or outside of your control, but you're also very aware of your ability to create and manifest. So the power that you do have. There's this sense of being very, because I was looking at the braid of this horse and it made me think of bonds or connections with people, and something about being close knit. So I don't know, maybe whoever are within your inner circles, you care about them a lot. And I'm not too sure why it's being highlighted. That's why I'm like a bit surprised that it keeps coming up. I mean, it could describe you for sure, but I wonder if it will carry a heavier message per se in your reading. Also, I want to point out that the Aragonite, for whatever reason, makes me think of like a coconut or something. So you could be. I was getting hot headed, and also like whenever you set your mind on something, you kind of like stick to it. So you have very fixed values or your principles are very well set. That's something that I'm getting as well. And you might also be very good at reading people with all this third eye energy. Anyway, so you do have quite a lot of cards. So these next cards are going to tell us what material you're working in with your manifestation. So in the pick a card reading that went before this one, which in the description below I will have the link, there was a pile that talked about the material that they're working in when they're manifesting, and I thought that was a very interesting topic to tackle. And these cards will represent like this big idea, big concepts, or describing the way that the material or the energy that you're working in when you're manifesting. So we have discernment, which came up a lot in a previous pile, but I'm not surprised that you got it as well. We have fragments. The eye on the palm of the hand also make me think of a third eye. We have cave with the word protection. And we have autumns with the word building. So the material that you're working with, it's very grounded. It makes me think of earth based on all the green that we have right here. So let me see. There's a lot of eyes in your reading. We have, like, this looks like peacock feathers, so there's eyes right here, and also there's an eye in the heart of the discernment card. So that makes me think that you have a very keen eye or a very good eye, so you're very good at reading people, reading situations, reading energy. I also feel that all of those eyes could be that you're always under the spotlight, or that your spiritual team is always looking over you. So that's why you always have eyes on you, like your the universe, fate, destiny, or your spiritual team, your higher self. They're always looking after you. Maybe even ancestors are looking after you. They help you see what your third eye cannot see. Wait, what? What I meant to say, like that too, but what I meant to say is like, whatever your physical self cannot see, your intuition and your spiritual team broadens your point of view. And they help you see things that you were not aware of. I do feel that you're someone, or like the material that you're working with is one that you can only get in tuned in when you're on your own. And like, there's no external distraction, there's no responsibilities to worry about, no burdens. You're not focusing on other people, but you're focusing on yourself, and you're on your own. Like, you're in your own space. Your mind is only thinking of you, and you're prioritizing you in your silence. Because of thinking of this cave and protection, there's this sense of like, you could get easily distracted or bothered by other people's energies because of how sensitive or intuitive you are. You're able to perceive things that other people cannot perceive, so it can really, other people's energy can really get in the way of your connection with spirit and your ability to connect with the material that you're working in. The material that you're working with is very earthy. So I do think that something like a green witch is coming up. Working with plants, nature, that could be relevant. It is like you work best in the dark or at night. Why is that? I think your blank canvas is nothingness or darkness because you work with light. So the only way that you're able to see things clearly or not get distracted is by thinking of the night or thinking of nothingness. It's kind of like if you were in space and you're just floating in space. How space is filled with a lot of nothingness and darkness. But it definitely highlights the lights or highlights planets and stars. That's kind of what I'm getting. Anyway, the material that you're working with is one that you're always looking at. You just can't touch it. It's like, it's not tangible. Even if it's earthy, it's not tangible. Because it makes me think like the material that you're working with, the best way I can describe it is the spirits of earth or the vibes or energy of nature. It's like you're working with Mother Nature, but not in its physical form. You know how they mentioned that sometimes, like, different energies or like energies from different solar systems came to Earth to help her raise her vibration or something like that? You're one of those people. Pile 4. You're one of those people. Therefore, there's this sense that the energy that you're working with is not tangible. It's like not in the 3D. It's not physical, but it is connected to Earth and nature. I do feel that you may have pieces of information on how this material works and how to work with nature. Okay, 2 things just came up. 1, all of these lights and this little boat make me think of the scene in Tangle. The one where they have like the lanterns and you have the protagonist on like a little boat. I forget the name of the song. Editor and me will add it there. And that song could be relevant, and if not, that scene could be relevant somehow. Or something about like the material that you're working with is one that guides others in the unknown. Also, the thing that I wanted to mention, this right here in the cave card, it kind of looks like an eyeball, but at the same time it looks like an egg. And then when I thought of the egg, I thought of a dragon. And then I connected it to all like the feathers that we see from the Discernment and Fragments card. And that made me think of the feather serpent, which is, I think is Hetzaquat, which is like an Aztec god, I think. So that could be relevant somehow. Blue eyes could be significant. I don't know if you have blue eyes. I just thought of the blue-eyed dragon. Okay, sure. But I was also thinking of like the energy or the light that you're working with right now could be blue, if that makes sense. And you know how they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul? It could be that people see, when you're working with this material, your eyes shine in such a way that it makes them look like they're blue. But it's just light. Anyway, let's look at your other cards. So the next cards that we're going to look at will be the tools that you can use for your manifestation, but this could be tools that you're not aware that you have, or this could be tools that you need to put a bit more effort to use or get in tune with. So we have Ubuntu with Compassion for Others, number 34. We have the Emperor Reverse, and we have the Tower Upright. So we have 2 major arcanas, which mean that this is like a big deal. So the Emperor is Aries energy, and the Tower is Mars energy. And the ruler of Aries is Mars. So I do want to point out that these 2 cards are super connected. This card, so the Compassion for Others, is the way that you can unlock these other 2 tools that you're not aware of that you have. And this compassion to others, I do feel that shows that you can be a great leader. You just don't realize that you can be a leader for others. You are so kind sensitive and intuitive that you can understand people at a level that they themselves cannot even understand. And what I mean by that is like you're able to see things in people that they themselves had not even identified quite yet. So you are a very good mirror that can reflect the good and the bad in others. So when you meet somebody and they're able to see their own reflection on you, pile 4, which can trigger some a lot. And others, it can help them get like the soothing love that they need to give to themselves. So what I'm saying is that you can bring a lot of beautiful sensations to people, and to others you can definitely trigger them. But at the end of the day, you're just reflecting something to them. A way that they see themselves that they may not be aware of, or that they are aware of. And you just reflect and they go like, damn, that really triggered me. So yeah, with this Emperor reverse, I think you don't realize, or you haven't put yourself in a position of being a leader, but you will be a good one. Your ability to understand other people will be very beneficial to get all of these people moving, like puzzle pieces. Also, I was getting the idea of destruction, and when I said that, I thought of Honkai Star Rail for some reason, because one of the paths is destruction. I just don't know why that came up necessarily, but I'll point that out in case it makes sense to someone. But the Tower card made me think of the beauty of disasters and destruction. Is like getting rid of the old, bringing in the new. Is like getting rid of a flimsy foundation in order to build on top of a sturdy, stable foundation. And that thing that you're building upon will be something that is long-lasting and concrete. It's like the tools that you have to manifest that you're not aware of is your ability to destroy environments, or your ability to get rid of insecurities, or to get rid of flimsy foundations. So let's say that you're working in a group, you're very good at noticing and pointing out the things that will not work in a group environment, or that will not work in a manifestation. That also includes yourself. Like, you're very good at figuring out, like, these things that I'm doing are not in my favor. I need to change it. I just feel that this Emperor reverse shows that you don't really like to be a leader, or you don't really like to put yourself in a position of telling other people what to do. And I think that's because one of the things about being a leader is that decisions have to be made. And sometimes you do have to be very blunt with people and tell them their shortcomings. And I feel that could be a bit challenging for you. You want to do things in a very loving way, in a very caring way. And because of that, you can do things in a roundabout way that is not very straightforward and direct. And because of that, you may feel that you don't have the sternness and the strictness necessary to lead people sometimes. Like, I feel like sometimes you feel like you're too soft to be a leader. And that you find it challenging to just tell someone, like, set boundaries and say, this is what's going to be done. Again, it's like you're so compassionate towards others that you haven't figured out that sometimes it's necessary that sometimes you have to be harsh for people to grow and learn. And that kind of works in your manifestations as well. Like, sometimes you feel that if everything falls apart is a mistake, it's wrong. But sometimes everything needs to fall apart, so only the essential pieces can come together. Something along those lines. So do know that those tools are at your disposal, but this destructive energy can, at first glance, seem counterproductive. But in reality, it's kind of like a defense mechanism as well. It's like, not defense mechanism, but like, it's a good tool to get rid anything that is not meant to push forward. It's it's kind of like you put pressure on something, and whatever falls apart is just a situation, people, or things that could not handle the pressure of growth. It's kind of like when you are making a diamond, right? The diamond goes under, I think diamonds are coal. It's basically coal that goes under so much pressure that it just becomes a little diamond. Or at least that's my understanding of it. Anyway, so the next cards that we have right here will be tools that you are aware of, or character traits, or situations, or people that can help you with your manifestations. These things could be things that you are already doing, or these could be things that you can see or visualize yourself doing, or things that have to be highlighted to you so that you're aware of, like, oh, this is what helps me manifest. So something a bit more straightforward. So the first card that we have is Bay with Wisdom. It's a fire element with Leo energy, number 22, in case that's significant. And we have Marjoram with Happiness. This is also a fire element. This is number 15. And this is Gemini energy. So with the Bay card, it tells me that one of the tools that you have at your disposal is your spirituality, your creativity, and your optimism, as well as your confidence, are tools that you can use to manifest. Also, when you take action, everything that you learn from when you experience things is also a tool to your manifestation. Also, tarot cards could be helpful because this, in the Bay card, it kind of looks like tarot cards. And again, with this Leo energy, doing what you enjoy and what makes you happy can help you learn a lot more about yourself and what you desire in life, which in exchange can help you manifest. The other card that we have right here with a happiness card kind of just goes back to this Leo energy, which is the whole thing of doing what you like, doing what you enjoy. Now with this Gemini energy though, it makes me think that you just need to learn new things, experience new things, kind of go with the flow, and maybe just whatever you're curious about, try it out. That can definitely help you discover and learn more about yourself, and help you learn about more tools that you can use for your manifestations. It's like by experiencing the unknown, you will learn so many new things about yourself and your interests that will make it easier to start manifesting things in your life. Because you will also learn what you're good at and what you're not. And the only way you can do that is by just trying it out and experiencing it. So yeah, just do the things that make you happy. So your guiding compass could be things that you enjoy, and doing things that bring you happiness, or things that excite you and kind of motivate you in life. Now let's see what else do we have. We have Plantain with Nourish. And we have Ghost Pipe with Mystery. I got that your ability to see the unknown, or remember how I mentioned that the material that you're working with can be darkness or like nothingness? That your ability to not be afraid of the depths that you can reach is also a tool to your manifestation, because you can definitely go deep. You can definitely connect intuitively in such a way that other people don't even realize it's possible. Do know that that is a tool to manifestation. It's like you get the answers of the ether of the unknown. Your clairvoyance, if you're aware of that, that is a tool that helps you with your manifestation. Nourishing. Okay, when I saw the potion here in the happiness card, it made me think that drinks could definitely help you with your manifestation, or like properly taking care of your body, because I was thinking of like a green juice, or like a vegetable juice, or a smoothie, a healthy smoothie. So yeah, making sure that you keep your body well taken care of, your physical vessel, is a way to manifest, because that becomes something that you don't have to worry about. It's kind of like, if you're healthy, you don't have to worry about that. Therefore, you can think of being happy and focused and having energy to try new things that could help you realize your new strengths and help you learn more about yourself. And again, the mystery card makes me think that another tool that you have to your manifestation is that you're able to see things that other people cannot see. So the unknown, or the metaphysical things, the supernatural, being able to see those things help you with your manifestation. But now so here we have the introduction to the Spirit Song Tarot. This is the first time I use them on my channel, and let's see what they have to say for you. Pile 4, we have the Knight of Acorns, or the Knight of Wands, which is Sagittarius energy. We have Two of Shells, or the Two of Cups. And we have the Ten of Feathers, or the Ten of Swords. And let's see, the animals that we have here. With the Knight of Acorns, we have a boar. With the Two of Shells, we have doves, however you say that. And then with the Ten of Feathers, we have a snake. The snake makes me think of Libra energy, in case that's relevant. Now, the words that we have right here, we have action and drive, we have union and harmony, and then we have recovery and transformation. This makes me think that with the Ten of Feathers, your ability to overcome challenges and your ability to get out of your mind and rise from the ashes is one of your biggest strengths to your manifestation. So it's kind of like if someone wants to tear you down, or you go through a very challenging journey that exhausts you, you don't give up. You're able to regenerate and kind of like, again, rise from the ashes, kind of like a phoenix. It's like, even if you have been burned down to the bone, you're able to go through this rebirth moment and kind of like regain your hope. So you're able to change and transform into this new version of yourself with a newfound power, with also this newfound knowledge and wisdom. It's like being able to survive the hardships that you encounter in life help you with your manifestations. Because it makes it easier to not give up. It makes it easier to move forward. And it also makes it easier to know your strengths. Also, the union and harmony makes me think that one of your tools is that you're very good at working with other people. You're very good at working in partnerships. You're very good at working in teams. And you're also very good at working with your spiritual team. Or, if you're not super connected to your spiritual team, do take into consideration that it will be very helpful to work with them, because they can definitely help you gather more information or help you stay in balance and in peace. I do want to mention that the horse and the zebra, to me, are very similar, and it feels like a pair. And this makes me think that you may grow even more when you work with other people. Or you may have a soulmate that you're going to work with to continue manifesting. Even your soul family could be very relevant group of people that you will work with your manifestation. But I do feel that this is like very like big like life purpose type of manifestations. You don't necessarily need them in order to work on your personal ones, or like short-term goals of sorts. Loyalty. For whatever reason, your loyalty or your dedication is a tool that helps with your manifestation. And I feel loyalty to your goals, loyalty to your manifestations, loyalty to your spiritual team, or even loyalty to other people makes it for all of those things to kind of like extend a hand towards you and help you with your manifestation. If it's people or like other energies, other entities, they want to help you with your manifestations. And if it's loyalty to your goal, it's like you don't give up. You don't give up easily. And with the Knight of Acorns, we have action and drive. So your motivation and your desire to accomplish your manifestations and your goals is one of your biggest strengths and tools that you can use to reach those goals and make them happen. It's like that's a tool that you can definitely use. So pile 4. One thing that I want to mention is like in the Lion King, you know how I don't know the names in English, but there's like Timon and Pumbaa, right? And in that one of the things that happens is like, you know, one of them will have an idea, they will say it, and then the other one will say the exact same thing as if it was their own idea. And I do feel that this could happen to you guys sometimes. Like when you're working with other people, you all think of the same things or bounce ideas from each other, and you may not even realize, like, how should I put it? If you're in the same room, if you're working with other people and you're in the same room, you will be with like-minded people that can help you with your manifestations. And if not, if you're working with your soul family and your spiritual team, and they're not physically there with you, you could have the same idea simultaneously, and work to manifest that idea in such a way that you're bouncing off ideas in a network that can only be connected to spiritually. So what I mean is, like, you know how we have the collective energy or the collective mind, in such a way that you're able to connect to the spiritual servers and the knowledge or information that your soul family gets from their respective physical selves. You can get in tune with that information, and it can help you with your manifestations. And that's why I'm saying, like, people that think of the same thought or the same idea, maybe even at the same time, but you are in a completely different space. Like, physically, like, you can be on one side of the world and your soul family can be on the opposite side of the world. But since you guys are connected, you can think of the same thing and gather information from different points of view because you're in different spaces, in such a way that you can get in tune with that information, and that can help you with your manifestations as well. So just keep that in mind. I don't know how aware you are of this, but do know that that is a source or a tool you can use for your manifestation as well, Pile 4. Anyway, Pile 4, I hope you like your reading. I hope you learn from it, or at least find it entertaining. Make sure that you take whatever resonates and leave the rest behind, because that could resonate to somebody else that picked Pile 4, but maybe that information was not for you necessarily. Do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so other people will pick this pile that are similar to you, but maybe not the same as you. Regardless, thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown me. Good luck with your manifestation, and yeah, I hope I'm able to provide for you more entertaining readings in the future, or at least helpful readings as well. I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye.